Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to our channel. Hey, if you're new here, please click that like, that subscribe, and don't forget to bang that bell notification. This way you get notified every time I upload a video. Well, you guys asked for it, or my subscribers asked for it, so I'm doing it. We're doing heated grips. That's right. We're doing heated grips on this beautiful orange 2023 Street Glide. We're going to get rid of the ugly grips here on the handlebars. We're going to put some nice heated grips. He bought them from Harley, and we got some windshield trim lights to put on and a jumper for the Apple CarPlay. So bear with me, and we'll get this done together, but I'm going to show you what we need to do. First thing we need to do is take off the outer fairing cap, which are these 3 screws. Then you have 1 screw here, 1 screw down here, same on the other side. But you want to wait to take this screw out last. That's the one in the center. That's the last one you take out. I always work on the 4 on the inner fairing side first, and then I do the 3 on the face facing me, and we'll get that off together. All right, now we're going to take off these 3 screws on the top. I'm going to work from the outside first. I'm going to put these screws down, and I have a cupcake tin to put the screws in. Now this is the important one. You got to be careful. First thing you want to do, protect your paint. I got these covers. I purchased them from Harley. They're inexpensive, but they'll save your paint. I have it on the tank and on the front fender. So these are a T27. So once I get this off, I pop out the windshield and his windshield bag. I'm just going to place that screw in so I can put this down. Now we take out this 1 screw and we just tilt this towards us and unplug the headlight. And that's that simple and easy to take off the inner fairing cap. Now that that's done, we have access. Right here is the throttle by wire, and right off of that right here is for the heated grips coming off the right grip. No wires need to be run for the white grip. It's already pre-run from Harley. However, we do have to run the wires for the left grip. And there's 2 wires, and we're going to fish them through the handlebars. I'm going to show you how, and hopefully we could do this without removing the handlebars. All right, guys, so first thing we got to do is remove our clutch perch. He's got a cup holder on this side and a phone holder on that side. These are normally a T27, but since he's got these on, they are a 3/16. So keeping a positive control of everything. Yep, I'm going to put it on the seat, guys. Don't freak out. And I'm just going to let that lay there. And I'm going to put this on the bench. And then we're going to do the other side. Always keep in mind of where your parts are. Because you don't want to lose things. Like inside of here, there's these spacers. You don't want to lose those. Because if you do, it can get ugly. Now the next thing we're going to remove is the switch housing, but not the switches. So it's a T25. That's 1. Bring up the torque. And that's 2. Again, keeping a positive control of everything. This comes off just like that, which is your throttle. You can slide this off. Inside of your throttle twist sensor here, there's that little black cap. You're going to get in there with a small screwdriver and you're just going to pop it out. Just like that. And this is not going to be reused, neither is this grip. And the reason being is right in here, there's 2 pins where this grip is going to plug into, and believe it or not, that side will be done. All right, so now we're going to move over to the left grip. To get the switch housing off, you got to lift up on this piece. You take your the small flathead screwdriver, and you get it underneath there, and it just pops out. If watch it give me a hard time for a change, and it is. What else is new? Ah. Figures when you're filming. There we go. And what you're doing is you're relieving this pressure here that clips in right here. So you got to remove that to get to this. So now we take off those two screws, which are the T25s. Always start on the bottom because you might be able to rotate this a little bit and get easier access to that top screw. And these come apart. No, it helps if I take the screw all the way out. Thought I did. There we go. And that comes off just like that. Now, this little piece I will put in my little muffin tin. The muffin tin. Like the Muffin Man. Just like that. Now we got to take off this grip that's glued on. Oh, I was able to break it off nice and easy. So the new grip, the wires are going to go in through here and down through the bar. So we got to put a chase in, but before we do all that, we have to, believe it or not, tilt this interfering forward. And to do so, I will show you how to remove your ignition lock and what you need to do to get this tilted forward. Okay guys, so what you want to do is turn this to the lock position. Now you got to be careful not to move things around. Inside of here, there's a little tab. So you're going to put your key in, turn it past the lock position, and then press up on that little tab, and it comes right up. And there's that little tab. So when you release it, it pops up. So if I push it back in and go back, it'll hold it down. Now, taking an adjustable wrench, I find this to be the easiest time to do this. And don't worry, we're going to put this somewhat back together after we get this inner piece off. There we go. And this doesn't have to be Gorilla tight, guys, because you will break it. This is only a plastic barrel. So you got these two pieces, the bottom piece, and then the top piece, and that's what this all locks into. Now, there's two screws on the side, which are a T25. Which is right over here. And we're going to go to the other side, which is right inside of here. There we go. So put that screwdriver down, put those screws aside. And now we're just going to take this and move it back out of our way, just like that. We're not going to remove it, just going to leave it there. Now, to remove the, or tilt forward, the interfering, we have to remove the turn signals. You got a top and bottom nut, which are a 1/2 inch. Then there's two studs on the inside, which are 9/16. Okay guys, we got the studs off, which were the 9/16 nuts, and the lower fairing valance. That had to come off. These are plastic with a chrome tape kind of cover. So with this being off, we're going to take our fairing, you're going to grab it, lift up, and then just tilt forward. And that will expose everything here, which we do have to take the handlebars off for this. I can't sneak it in because the way the wires come out the bottom. So I do have to remove the bars. So with that being said, we're going to come around to the front. All right. We're going to disconnect our hand switches. All right. This is the left side, which is your clutch side. This here is your throttle side. That comes off. Now for your throttle by wire, this would be the time, if you wanted to do one of those throttle tuners, this would be the time to do it. Take that little screwdriver you had, you're going to push up on the tab and it unplugs. Now that that's all unplugged, we're going to tilt this back forward, just like this. And I'm keeping a positive control of the fairing, guys. I always have a fear of that thing getting messed up, or be careful pulling these that you don't yank the pins off or the plugs off. All right, so now we got to undo these 4 screws. Let me get a socket, we'll do that. Okay, so I take my 1/4" Allen socket and I just loosen these up with the ratchet. I'm going to get on there with the gun. And remove them completely. Be careful when doing this because these bars will move on you and slide down and they could damage your tank. So I always put my body up against the handlebars just to hold them in place. So now we just grab the handlebars. Wait a minute. Oh, that's all zip tied there. All right, we'll let it swing down. And let me get a set of diagonal cutters. We'll cut that. So with these newer bikes, they put a little rubber piece on the bar that's zip tied to the bar. We'll replace this zip tie. Now we can release our bars. Now that the bars are released, I'm going to tilt this fairing back into its normal upright position. That's so I know it's safe and it's not going to fall. Ask me how I know. All right, guys, so this is your left grip. It's got the rheostat on here to adjust the heat. And it's got 2 ends that we're going to feed through. To feed these through is I'm going to stagger the ends because trying to fit them both through there at the same time, that's going to be quite interesting. So I just zip tie my 550 cord, which is my pull cord, to the wires, keeping these staggered. So this first one's going to go here, and then once I get them inside the bars, I'll equal them out once the plugs come out the other end. Trimming off the excess. And now the same thing over here. Trimming off the excess. You can wrap these with electrical tape. I highly recommend that when you're doing more than just these wires. Like if you're doing the hand control wires, your throttle by wire with it. So I ran the wire through. If you want to see how to internal wire your bars, I have a video. I'll link that up over here. So I'm just going to feed it in and pull at the same time. And as you see, they do come out. So now I just cut the zip ties that I put on. Some people are like, my God, you just wasted zip ties. No, I didn't. It made my life easier. My wife's going to yell at me because I'm just throwing them on the floor and she just swept. Sorry, honey.
I'll get them later. It's not the end of the world.
Yep. Evening out these two like I did. Now I'm gonna pull this off.
That foam?
Nah, it's a
What is that?
see, inner part of the grip. Removed prior to assembly. Helps if you read.
Oops.
So,
That cut it? Oh, yes it did. Yay.
I don't have to remove the wires.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, that is good. So, as I insert the grip,
Nice new shiny handle.
yes, they're nice new shiny handlebars.
They
And
got
that usually goes right around like that. You got to push them on tight.
Make sure that emblem is in a normal position because that gets
Yep.
me a pain.
Well, it lines up, believe it or not. These are notched,
Oh.
so it will line up with the grip.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I didn't put the right side on already because I want these to be even. So however they end up on the bike, that's what I'm going to do. Now, are we done? Absolutely not. Because we have more wires. So there's the throttle twist sensor wire. The male end for your heated grip goes into the female end on this side. This here comes off and it will get plugged in to the bike. All right, crew, so what I did is I put the switch cover back on it. Now, your trip select button, you're just gonna slide it back over and then you're gonna hear it click. I don't know if you heard that. It clicked, oh. There you go, now it's clicked in. So now what we gotta do is put these bars back on the bike. I gotta tilt the fairing, put the riser clamp on it, and then fish the wires. All right, guys, it's always good to have somebody extra, say hello, holding the fairing while doing this. I get nervous, I don't want them to fall. But this is the right hand control plug, which will go down inside the hole right there. Same thing with the throttle twist sensor. That's going to go down in the hole just like that. You might have to reach around, give it the old reach around. Pull that one and
I see it.
grab a hold of it, or try to, and pull it down.
Did you need me to stick my hand?
Nope, got it.
Okay.
We're going to leave this end exposed for now. This one here, which will be the power for the hand grips. I'm going to come around the other side of the bike, and we're going to fish this one down through that hole right there next to the fork. And again, giving it the old reach around, grab the wire, pull it through. While we are here, I got to put this back. There we go. And we're going to put a zip tie around that. And you know it's lined up because there's a hole in the bar for it right there. Okay, I got that zip tied like I said I would do. Again, I'm just going to leave this exposed for now. I'm not going to run it, but I'm just going to put this fairing back in its location. There we go. Do I have them too far up? Yes, I do. And that's what I wanted to see. So I'm going to have to loosen up the bars, which you could still get to the bottom two with the fairing in its place. So we're going to grab these and move them this way. All right. And we could go up just here. Oh, too much. Right there would be good. So I'll just crank these down. Now to come around this side, and we're going to connect all of the wires that we fished through. Okay, here is the left side, I'm sorry, right side, throttle side, hand controls. That goes there. That one goes there. Here is the left side, which is your clutch side, goes right to here. Now we'll take our throttle control wire, or throttle rheostat, whatever you want to call it, and we'll tuck that up out of the way, and that's all done. Now we got to supply power. Okay, now we're going to run our power wire, and on the Street Glides you got to look on your left side of your fairing, which is your clutch side. Down inside of here you'll find behind the metal bracket there's a 2-wire, which is black and purple, with a dummy plug in it. So we'll pull the dummy plug out, throw it away. Bye-bye, dummy. And in your kit comes a short and a long one. The long one is for if you have taller bars. Doesn't have taller bars, we're not going to use the long one. I'm going to save that for another project. Now you take the shorter one. Again, this is power for your heated grips. It plugs in here. And now we're going to feed this back up through the bike. So let me tilt this forward. And remember that one pigtail I says we're going to leave it? That's where it goes. So we're going to feed this up pushing from with one hand to the other. And this here plugs in just like that. And now we'll just tuck this up out of the way. And it's that simple. Now we'll put our fairing back for the last time, the inner fairing that is, and we're going to put our bolts in, or our studs. Our turn signals will go back on, and then we'll start reassembling everything else. Now that all our wires are done, I got the top 2 studs in. All right, so now we're going to put our skirt on, and take your time because you don't want to cross thread these. So you might have to manipulate the inner fairing to line everything up. Kind of like that. And start everything by hand. Because once you start it by hand, it's all good. Okay. There we go. And I got the top started by hand. So now we're going to tighten everything down. Always, this is the wire for the turn signals. All right, there's one and the other side as well sticking out. And I always use a deep socket for these because the shallow socket is just too shallow. Now being that this holds the inner fairing on, I'm going to put a ratchet on it to make sure they're tight, because that's only an 8-volt gun. And what we'll do is, once I have this all back together, I'll take my laser thermometer, put it on the grips with it off, and we'll wait 20 minutes and then measure and see how hot or warm they get. 1 and 2, and then we're at the reassembly portion of this. Why the left? Because that's the first one I grabbed. Plug it in. Feed your wire into the inner fairing so it doesn't get pinched. Start with the top one and then the bottom one. And I'll put a ratchet on these as well to make sure they're tight too. Last thing we want is the turn signals falling off. And guys, believe it or not, we're almost done with this project. Almost. And I still have to show you doing the right throttle grip. Because there is a trick to it, and that I will share that trick with you. Alrighty. And there's a little black cap on the end that we have to pop off. They're tough at times. That's where that little screwdriver comes in handy again. You'll use this little screwdriver more on this project than any others. There we go. Just got to pop it off. Grab a nice little pair of small needle nose I'm going to pull out this wire. And if you notice, one pin is already bent from Harley. Shame on you, Harley. Okay, that looks good. So this could go on in any direction. But what I want to do is try and match these up, and this needs to be rotated. Let me rotate that. There we go. All right, so now what I'm trying to do is clock the grips so they're the same left to right. If that makes any sense to you. So we're clocking the grips. So this needs to come up just to here, like that. So the grips are clocked. So now what we're doing is we're plugging in the heating element to the inside. If you look inside of there, the inside, those where those two holes are. It's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get a better angle here, honey.
So you can see the blue block.
Right inside of there, you could see the two wires or two holes that these two pins have to plug into. And that's where, here you go, these needle nose come in handy. So you're going to grab this and take it with your needle nose. And you're going to try and align these up. Usually it takes a little bit of practice to do it before they go in. And I think I just got it. There you go. That's in.
Yay.
So take the wires, we'll tuck them in just like that. And now take your end cap, snap it on place. Now we have that, we could do the switch housing, which is the T25. Trying to get everything here lined back up.
Come around.
Yeah. There we go. Believe it or not, if this is pulling on the grip, it will actually lock the throttle in place. So now that that's done, I can put the brake master cylinder back on it. Grab our socket, which is that 3/16 Allen. And the end cap with the phone holder, because that's what side the phone holder was on. And his screws are mighty short. The handlebars are indented for the wire. Let me loosen this up. I see, said the blind man. That wire was not sitting where it needed to. It needs to sit inside the indentation so it doesn't block the hole or anything. Again, pause to control the whole assembly. These bolts are too short. All right, guys, now we got this all back together. The clutch lever, brake lever, and the switch panel for the ignition. We're going to put this back on. That little collar stop goes on first, and then your nut. Now remember what I said, doesn't have to be Gorilla tight because they will break. That's it, that's all you need is right there. Nothing more. You put this back in the lock position with your key still installed, and then you go just like that, and now everything works like it should. So with the key on, oops, we're going to turn the heated grips on, and we're going to measure the temperature of the grips now and then in 20 minutes. So holding it at the grip, they're 83 degrees. So we're going to give it a little bit, and we're going to measure it again. All right, guys, so it's only been on not even 5 minutes. Let's see where we're at. 95, 96. So they're working, they're getting warmer, and that's within 5 minutes. They went from the 80s to the 90s. I have the same exact ones on my Road Glide. They work phenomenal. I love them. These are Harley Davidson brand. I can't lie to you. They're a Harley Davidson brand, and I'll get you that part number in a minute. That part number, if you're interested, it's a multi-fit, it says, and that part number is 561-00331. These are the Kahuna style hand grips. And I have them on my Road Glide. I love them. They work great. So, too easy. Too easy. So what's left? The heated grips are done. So now we're going to work on this Apple CarPlay adapter. It is not the Harley way of doing it. It is the aftermarket way of doing it. And it's a plug with a jumper that goes right here. That's the Apple CarPlay adapter. So now, I'm not sure if he's got to flash the radio or not, but now his Apple CarPlay adapter will work. Now, remember we're talking about turn signals. From our friends at Custom Dynamics. No, these were not given to me. He purchased these. This is the windshield trim here for his turn signals. Oh, and they're taped. Again, that little screwdriver said you're going to use it multiple times on multiple things. Opening boxes works good too. Woohoo! Look at this. I got a mess here I got to clean up. We got zippy ties. New screws for the outer fairing by the windshield. Wire extensions and jumpers, because we're going to need those, because we're going to intercept the turn signal, and directions. We don't need the directions. So here we go. This here, like I said, will intercept. All right, guys, so I'm taking the turn signal back off again. So I'm going to unplug this from here. Now, I've got to put this down because we are going to pull this one through, and this one gets connected here. Just like that. This end comes back through and out where the turn signal would have, where the turn signal goes, and that connects there. So that shears the connection. I'm putting this one back on, and then we'll do the wiring on the other side as well. Now this side. Grab my little jumper harness, feed this one through. You go there like that. This side comes through. Over here, here, honey, show them this side so they can see.
On the other.
Yeah, come around. Comes right through here, just like that. So we take our turn signal, and we plug it right in here, just like that. I could have done separate videos for these guys, but I figured it's all at the same thing, doing the same thing all over again. So all one video. I hope you don't mind. So we know the heated grips are on and they're working. All right guys, so now what we're gonna do is take our twist ties off of here on both sides, because they got to get connected to those jumper harnesses that we just spliced off of with the jumper that comes with them. So here you go. This will sit up top just like that. This will come down. I'm going to feed my wires down and out of the way. This will get plugged in here. That would be your left side. And I'm going to be zip tying all this up out of the way as well. This will come down. And I'm feeding it underneath a lot of the wires here because to me it's neater and easier. And yep, perfect. That comes here. Now, I'm going to do is turn it on and we're going to take a look and see how it looks. There we go. So now we got nice and bright. So we got our right turn. Oh, they're sequential. That's very nice.
Cool.
And it works with the sequence already. Now we'll do left turn.
Nice.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to let it program. And how do you let it program? You hit the hazards, turn the bike off, and wait a few minutes and the bike will program. All right guys, it's been about 5 minutes. The flashers got slow, they learned each other, so now everything is wonderful. I'm going to turn the bike back on, turn the flashers off, and turn the bike off. Now it's programmed. Now what do we got left? We have the end cap left to put on. And these wires, which are golden the way they are. So let me we'll show you how to get the end cap on. So with the new screws that they give you, because the original ones won't fit anything. 3 screws, 1 long, which is for the center, 2 shorts, which are for the sides that face forward, just over the vent. But we're just going to grab the long one for now. Grab our outer fairing cap. I'm going to plug in the headlight. Slap this on. And right there, just like that. Just going to start it. And it's going to hold it. I'm going to peel the Band-Aid off of here. Just like that. On the other side, it's garbage. Holding the cap with my girth, my belly. I'm going to slide this over just like this. Line up the hole. And just get it started. Because now we need to start the other 4 screws. You have 2 shorts and 2 longs that go from the inner fairing to the outer fairing. The short ones go on the bottom, believe it or not. And they'll go in the hood right there. And I'm just starting. The long ones go on the top. Making sure we look good down here, and we do. And I don't crank them down right away, so I can see what's going on if need be. And this one. All right. Now we'll take our windshield and our windshield bag. Windshield bag goes on. Sometimes it's easier just to pull the screw out. It's like pulling the Band-Aid. Now I'll take the windshield. Slide that on. And they're a T25. And what I like to do is start them by hand. Because if you cross thread these or strip them out, basically screwed. There we go. All right, so we got that one snug. We're going to start with the top center. Making sure your wires are tucked in. Do one side, then the other. Okay, those three are tight. Now, with the 8-volt gun, I'm going to turn the clutch down to 4. That's 1, 2. Make sure our headlight works. Yes, it does. And the trim works. And that's it, guys. Hey, what'd you think of this video? Did you like it? Was it informative? Does it help you out? All right, guys, until the next time, I want you to live the best life you can. Ride often and always ride hard.
Like and subscribe.